Most people come to therapy because of something that happened to them, a trauma, a breakup, or a failure. But there's a specific type of suffering that comes not from what happened, but from what failed to happen. Imagine growing up in a house where you were fed, clothed, and kept safe, yet your emotions were invisible. Your joys weren't celebrated, and your tears were met with silence or a simple, "You're fine." This is childhood emotional neglect. Unlike physical abuse, which leaves visible scars, sen is a ghost trauma. It is the absence of emotional response. It's like being a plant that gets plenty of sunlight but no water. You look fine to the outside world, but you are wilting from within. Today, we are exploring the 10 psychological pillars of emotional neglect to understand why you feel empty despite having everything, and how to finally fill the void. The definition of the void. The first pillar of sen is the chronic feeling of emptiness. People who were emotionally neglected often describe a sensation of numbness or a hollow space in their chest. Because their parents didn't mirror their emotions, they never learned how to feel them properly. In psychology, mirroring is the process where a parent reflects a child's emotional state back to them. If a child is sad and the parent says, "I see you're sad, it's okay," the child learns that their feelings are real and manageable. Without this, the child learns to mute their internal world. As an adult, this manifests as a vague sense that you are watching life from behind a glass wall. You are there, but you aren't truly in it. The counter-dependency trap. If you grew up learning that your needs wouldn't be met, you eventually stop asking. Point 2 is hyper-independence, or what psychologists call counter-dependency. This is the fierce, almost pathological need to do everything yourself. You find it incredibly difficult to ask for help, even when you are drowning. To you, needing someone feels like a weakness or a dangerous vulnerability. You pride yourself on being low maintenance, but underneath that pride is a deep-seated belief that no one will actually be there for you if you fall. You are a lone wolf, not by choice, but as a survival strategy against disappointment. The fatal flaw. The third pillar is the belief in a fatal flaw. Because your parents didn't connect with you emotionally, your developing brain came to a devastating conclusion. There must be something fundamentally wrong with me. You assume that if you were better, smarter, or more interesting, your parents would have noticed you. This creates a deep, pervasive sense of toxic shame. You walk through the world feeling like a fraud, terrified that if people really knew you, they would see the broken person you believe yourself to be. You aren't afraid of failing, you are afraid of being found out. Poor self-knowledge. If no one ever asked you how you felt or what you liked, you never developed a strong sense of self-identity. Point 4 is the identity vacuum. People with sen often struggle with simple questions like, "What do you want for dinner?" or "What are your hobbies?" Because they spent their childhood suppressed, they have no internal compass. They are experts at reading other people's needs and adapting to them, what we call people-pleasing. But they are strangers to themselves. They are chameleons who have forgotten their original color. The alexithymia spectrum. Point 5 is a neurological consequence of sen called alexithymia. This is the inability to identify and describe emotions in the self. When you feel a sensation in your body, you might mistake it for physical illness rather than an emotion. You might say, "My stomach hurts," when you are actually anxious, or "I'm just tired," when you are deeply depressed. Because you were never given a vocabulary for your feelings, your emotions remain in a raw, physical state. You feel bad, but you can't say why or how, which makes it nearly impossible to process the pain. The parenting of others. Strangely, many people who were neglected become the most nurturing and compassionate people in their circles. Point 6 is the compulsive caretaker. You give to others what you never received. You are the therapist friend, the one everyone leans on. But there is a dark side to this. It is a way to stay safe. As long as you are the one helping, you are in control. As long as the focus is on someone else's problems, you don't have to look at your own emptiness. It is a noble-looking form of avoidance. You are so busy saving everyone else that you don't realize you are the one who is actually drowning. The harsh inner critic. In the absence of a supportive parental voice, the child often creates a harsh inner judge. Point 7 is self-directed anger. If you made a mistake as a child and no one was there to comfort you, you learn to punish yourself instead. As an adult, your internal dialogue is brutal. You call yourself stupid, lazy, or pathetic for having normal human needs. You have internalized the neglect of your parents and turned it into a weapon. You are now neglecting yourself, repeating the cycle of silence and shame within your own mind. The anhedonia of daily life. If you spent your life muting the bad emotions, like adness or azure, you accidentally muted the good ones too. Point 8 is anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. Life feels flat. You might achieve a major goal, but you feel nothing. You might be at a party where everyone is laughing, but you feel like a robot mimicking human behavior. This is because emotional processing is an all-or-nothing system. You cannot selectively numb pain without also numbing joy. For the neglected person, life isn't a tragedy. It's just a long, gray hallway. Difficulty with self-discipline. This is the most misunderstood pillar of sin. Point 9 is the struggle with self-regulation. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's about internalized structure. In a healthy home, parents provide external regulation, chores, praise for effort, until the child learns to do it for themselves. If your parents were emotionally absent, they likely failed to provide this structure. As an adult, you might find it impossible to stick to a routine or finish a project. You aren't lazy. You simply never received the operating system for self-direction. The fear of compassion. The final and most heartbreaking point is the fear of love. When someone finally shows you genuine, warm, emotional attention, your first instinct is to run. To someone with sin, intimacy feels like a threat. It feels fake or overwhelming. You might even feel a sense of disgust or annoyance when a partner tries to be sweet to you. This is because your nervous system has associated need with pain. You have built a fortress to protect yourself from neglect, and now that fortress is keeping the love out. You are starving for connection, but you are afraid of the food. Becoming your own parent. Healing from sin is different from healing from abuse. You don't have to get over something. You have to build something. The first step is self-validation. You have to stop telling yourself that it wasn't that bad just because you weren't hit. Your pain is valid. The second step is emotional literacy. You must learn to name your feelings. When you feel a tightness in your chest, stop and ask, is this fear? Is this grief? The third step is learning to need. Practice asking for small things. Let someone help you carry a bag. Let someone listen to your day. You are rewiring your brain to realize that it is safe to be human. Childhood emotional neglect is a silent burden, but it is not a life sentence. The void you feel is not a hole in your soul. It is simply an empty room that has been waiting for you to walk in and turn on the light. You were not invisible because you were unimportant. You were invisible because the people looking at you were blind. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have needs. And most importantly, you are allowed to feel. The gray hallway of your life is about to get some color, but only if you are brave enough to finally look at the ghost in the room and realize that it was just a lonely child waiting to be held.